Welcome to VM Minutes, where we share short tips on essential workplace investigation skills. Today, let's talk about witness representatives. My guess is in one of your interviews or in an interview yet to come, you're going to have a complainant or witness or respondent who requests to have a representative present with them during the witness interview. The question is, what is your obligation as an internal investigator to allow that representative to be present during the interview? I think there's probably three considerations here. One, there may be a legal requirement that answers this question. If it's in a union environment and the subject is facing potential discipline, there may be a legal requirement that you allow them to have a representative present. Second, you may have a policy or a practice at your organization that will answer this question about whether or not to have a representative present. But third, and this is really where we're going to spend our time today, is that scenario where, from a practical consideration, you are weighing whether or not to allow a representative to be present because you don't really have any legal requirement or policy requirement that answers the question. I think there's a few pros to allowing a witness to have a representative present. First, it may be the only way to get the interview done because the witness may be telling you, I'm not participating in this interview unless I'm allowed to have a representative present. A second pro is the witness may actually be a better witness if they're allowed to have a representative present because they may feel more comfortable. They may feel like they have an ally in the room, and that may set them at ease and allow them to be more candid and forthcoming. Third, allowing a representative to be present may help keep the witness on track. It can be pretty intimidating to participate in an investigative interview. And if the representative has some experience with the investigation process, they may help keep the witness on track, stay focused on the questions and issues that you're trying to address in your interview. Now, of course, there are some cons to allowing a representative to be present. One, it can be disruptive, and you probably won't know whether it's going to be disruptive until you get into the interview. If the representative believes that they have some obligation or some responsibility to be interfering with the witness interview or interrupting questions or objecting to questions or testifying on behalf of the witness, that can be really difficult for you to manage as the investigator. A second consideration or a second con is you may be discussing confidential personnel information or proprietary information during the interview. You may have some concerns about exposing an outsider, like a family member, or even another employee to some of that confidential information. Now, I think in that situation, you can take some steps to mitigate that. You can talk to the employee or who's going to be a representative, or you can talk to the family member and explain to them that they are obligated not to share any of this information. You can even take it one step further and ask them to sign a confidentiality agreement where that employee or that outside representative acknowledges that they may be exposed to confidential proprietary information and they agree not to share or disclose that information to anyone else. So that step can help mitigate that confidentiality issue. A final consideration is if your witness is asking to have their attorney present, you really never have to allow them to have an attorney present if you yourself are not an attorney. So if you have that request where the witness is saying, I really need to have my attorney present, you should probably bring in your in-house counsel or seek outside advice from an attorney about how to navigate that situation. So those are some considerations on what to do when you receive a request to have a representative present. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap on today's VM Minutes.